Okay, so I don't know if I'm gonna actually have background footage or not, but ladies and gentlemen, my name is Yukishi, and welcome to something that's a little, though not really, different. Now, as of recording, I have not actually yet beaten the true final boss of Octopath Traveler. However, I'm still making this video because it warrants me discussing Octopath and doing a review on Octopath, though it's more so issues I have with Octopath Traveler, the first game, at least. And a majority of the stuff has to do with gameplay as well. Again, I haven't beaten the final boss, but I do have over 60 hours of gameplay, slash over 60 hours on the game, so I feel like I'm more than enough qualified to rate this game. If you are at all confused, I do have a playthrough of the game where I play through the game blind, as in I have never experienced this game before, aside from one time like many years ago when I picked Therion, but I didn't remember a damn thing about his story other than he infiltrates a manor for some reason, and that was it. So I decided to do a playthrough. I've done all 8 characters' stories to completion. I fought the 4 super bosses in terms of getting the new jobs. The only thing I haven't done is do all the side quests, but I don't feel like doing all the side quests because I don't want to have to look at the wiki constantly to try and see what the fuck I'm supposed to do, because the game is bad at that. Which is one of my gripes, but I'll get to that later. At least I hope I do, if it's in my sticky note. So, without further delay, issues I have with Octopath Traveler 1, and it's mostly gameplay stuff. Number 1, needing high inquire slash scrutinize to just get zero information for a quest or passive for the town. As in, both Cyrus and Alvin need to be high level to even get a 100% chance guaranteed to scrutinize or inquire from a character, but when you do, you basically get nothing. Zach or zilch, nada, nothing. Like, you don't even get a passive ability, or a passive ability in the town, a potential hidden item that's really good, or just something that you need for the quest. But that can be said about everyone, where the items you get slash the things they give you is not that good. I don't have as much of an issue for this one, but it is kind of an issue. There's no real option to turn off random encounters, and that's kind of a problem. Now, yes, there is evasive maneuvers and means around uh, random encounters, and you can just run away from it, but why would I run away when I could just fully disable random encounters? I don't know if that's something they fixed in Octopath 2 or 0 even, but I hope they do, because that'd be nice. I really liked Bravely Second, or Bravely Defaults. No, I think Bravely Second did it better. No? Bravely Second's end layer way of doing things, where you can literally just turn off random encounters at your leisure, instead of having like a repellent of some kind. I get that this game is trying to be an old style JRPG. That's totally fine, but it should still be in a um what's the words I'm looking for? It should still be an old style JRPG with modern, or with more modernization added to it. So it can still it'll still feel like the old while still feeling fresh and new. You know? Um, this one annoys me greatly. You have to have the sub-job equipped to use the moves in battle despite learning said moves. Meaning, if I learned the skill, I can't use it I can't use it with a separate class. I can only use it while on the subclass. For instance, say I'm using Cyrus, right? Cyrus is a scholar class character, and I have him learn Midnight Ode, which is a dancer class ability. If I put Cyrus on Priest, which is Ophelia's class, and I have him learn the light-based skill, he cannot use Midnight Ode even though I learned that skill. Basically, what I'm saying is I want a system similar to Metaphor Refantasio for the Octopath games, where so long as I learn the skill from the parent, or from the thing that allows me to learn it, I can then put that skill on any job I want. That's a good job system in my opinion, because that allows for more freedom of being able to do whatever the fuck you want to do. I'm fine with the ultimate skills, the thing where you need to use your 3 boosts for. I'm fine with those being class specific, because that makes sense. All I'm asking is for me to use skills that I learned from a class to be utilized on a different class. because that opened up way more possibilities. This one annoys me greatly. You can't change the party during combat freely, at all. In fact, you can only change the party at a tavern. And any character that is not currently in your party do not gain experience or JP. All three of those greatly upset me and annoy me to no end, because that just doubles the length of grinding. That is infuriating, that sucks, it's annoying as shit. Especially not being able to change during combat. I'm not a fan of that. I think we should be able to, especially considering the fact that if my entire party is full of magic casters and I don't have a physical attacker, then I'm gonna be in for one hell of a ride. Same thing if, I have a party full of physical attackers, but none of them have either an elemental attack or an attack that can actually break the enemy. Now, one might say, oh, well, that's your fault. I'm sorry, but how am I supposed to prepare for this? I guess I can just look at the wiki and prepare that way, but not many people are going to do that. So, granted, I'm not most people, but still, I'm not going to look at the wiki for an area. Unless if it's for, like, a quest or something that I missed. I don't know how this one will feel for everyone else, but I like it when games have an enemy glossary / monster book, so I can look at its weaknesses, its resistances, and see its loot drops and where it spawns. I'm kind of shocked this game doesn't have that. I wish it did. And same thing with this next one, where there's no real means of keeping tabs on side quests. Because once you start a side quest, you can't look anywhere as to the side quest name, who gave you the side quest, or anything of the sort. I feel that's another old JRPG-ism that I wish they made modern, or modernized. I hope that's something that they fix in Octopath 2 or 0 even. But, yeah, it's annoying as shit. While cool initially, side quests being reliant on field skills can be both good and bad, depending on what skill you need to use, because you need to find the one random NPC you need to complete the quest, and the game does not tell you at all where the NPC is, let alone mark the NPC on the map. This is infuriating, especially for Allure / Dance, Purchase / Steal, and Challenge. Unless if Challenge has you fighting the actual character that gave you the side quest. That is incredibly infuriating. Because it's just a guessing game. Now, yes, again, just use a guide. Most people don't. Most people want to figure that shit out on themselves and waste their fucking time. To them, I say, don't waste their time, suck it up, look at a guide / look up the quest, please. You're going to do yourself a massive favor by doing that and save yourself a headache. Trust me, you do not want to do this. Or you don't want to do that fully blind. You want to, at the very least, look up what you need to do next. Because this game isn't as kind when it comes to its side quests. This one greatly annoys me, as someone who really loves to use Primrose. Consuming a turn of a buff / debuff immediately after applying it the following turn. Think applying Abide to oneself on turn 1, and it lasts 3 turns, and it immediately goes down to 2 instead of staying at 3. By which I mean, say for instance you're a warrior class, or you have someone set up as a warrior. You use Abide. You now have Abide for 3 turns. But you don't get to actually use Abide until the next turn, so you only really have it for 2 turns. I feel like that's fucking stupid. I'm not a fan of that. Same thing with Transfer Rune, which is the most broken ability for Rune Knight, especially. So the only means to counteract that is to boost, where you can use it for more than 1 turn. But that's fixing an issue that shouldn't be an issue in the first place. Another issue I take. Even though Analyze will show the enemy HP after using the skill, the HP won't stay visible unless you use the skill again. I think that's fucking stupid. I think the enemy's HP bar should actually be shown in the fight instead of having to random guess. Another old JRPG-ism that is present in this game, but I feel like some older JRPGs actually show you the enemy's HP. Just show me the enemy's HP, please. I don't need to unlock a skill in order to see that. I don't need to, do anything of the sort. Just show me how much HP the enemy has, please. And tell me how much HP the enemy has, too. That'd be useful. Now, I know there is somewhat of a spot, but not really. There's no real good spot to grind for insane amounts of money, XP, or JP, considering the dummy amount of all you need for mid to late game. Again, I am currently at the final boss, slash before the Gate of Thinness, where I need to do the boss rush, and I need to grind because both Ulbrich and Alphen are underleveled, slash I do not have enough JP to get all the skills I need in order to beat the final boss. So to those of you who think and say, oh, you don't actually need to grind at this game because levels don't matter, I fucking disagree. Levels give you higher HP and higher SP, which means more survivability, and the more likely you are to be able to cast your abilities. Not only that, but you also get JP from grinding, which is needed to unlock skills, and especially passives. Especially when said skills are when said passives are the fourth passive, and you need to unlock pretty much every single fucking ability under the sun in order to get that. So, yes, this game is grindy. Shut the fuck up, please. This one also greatly upsets me. There's no loadout slash setting a preferred gear set with job. With a game such as this, where needing a loadout is important, I'm kind of shocked there's no loadout. So you constantly have to unequip skills, constantly switch between classes, constantly unequip and re-equip equipment. It's a hassle. This one annoys me greatly after I did Cyrus, or finished Cyrus. The game doesn't give you a direction to go in when you beat all 8 stories, because the game assumes that you'll play as your starting character last, which is why the game gives you credits that early. I'm not a fan of that. I wish the game gave you a solid direction to go in, instead of having to bumblefuck your way and do all the side quests. That's kind of bad game design, guys. Just 4 more left. The final dungeon is a boss rush. I don't mind this as much, because it's only 8 bosses that you have to fight, but given the fact that, 1, you can't save, 2, you're locked into that area for the remainder and can't take a break, as in you can't save and leave the game, so you have to do that entire section in one fell swoop, and 3, you fight the final boss, and you can't even save before you fight the final boss. Yeah, no, I'm not a fan of that. Which, again, leads into, you cannot save in the final dungeon, meaning if you die, you have to start all over again. Now, yes, that just means, oh, well, you were woefully underprepared. However, to that I say, that's still some grade A bullshit. I should be able to save before having to fight the final boss, excuse me, and not have to be overprepared out the fucking wazoo. Not only that, but there's no easy means of recovering HP and SP because of this, leading you to have to be prepared, which most likely won't happen on a first playthrough. Now, yes, there's 8 bosses, and they can give you level ups. Especially if you use Hard Worker and the other ability. Well, you only really need Hard Worker, which increases your XP yield. So, yes, there's that, but that's only for 4 characters. And you're more than likely not going to be using all 4, unless if you're like me and you do. And lastly, the main thing that annoys me, or one of the big things that annoys me that is not gameplay related, is that important cutscenes are not voiced. Especially the fucking side quest with Galdera. Do not like that. I feel like that should be voiced. Hell, all of the quest cutscenes leading up to that moment should have been voiced. If it ain't voice, then it's not important. That is a lesson I learned with the Hoyo games, and just gacha games in general. But chances are, there are some important dialogue voiced, or there are some important dialogue in there, but if it was so important, then why couldn't it have been voiced? That annoys me greatly with these kinds of games. But, yeah. So, I think that is everything that annoys me about Octopath 1. Hopefully, at least a majority of these get fixed in Octopath 2 and 0. I haven't purchased Octopath 2 yet. I'm debating on it, still. I have had the idea to play through the demo, at least, of Octopath 2, and upload me going through the demo of that game, but I'm undecided still. So, yeah. What did you agree with? What did you disagree with? What of Octopath Traveler do you find annoying? What do you think should also be better? Let me know in the comments. But I think with that, I'm going to end this video here for now. So, I've been Rikishi, and I'll see you next time. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to beat myself up so I can actually grind because I still don't feel like grinding at all. I don't feel like it's worth it.